everyone, and welcome to a video of Truly Ludi. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving and you guys spent some time with your family, ate some food, enjoyed a time with clubbing. Whatever it is, I hope you had a great time. So I am back after a long period of hiatus working and figuring out life and kind of like working on things, and I'm back. So what are we talking about? What's the topic of today? The topic of today is my life. It is a funny one and it is something else, and also it's a lesson, me telling you how you have to prepare for the inevitable, because you don't know when it's gonna happen. And even if you really don't know how big the inevitable is gonna be, just a little preparation can help. Just even having like 5%, 10% of the preparation of an inevitable event will help. So, story time. Imagine that, like the day before Thanksgiving. This year we're like newlywed, married couple. Why not host Thanksgiving? You know, like let's cook or cater some food and have some friend bring some food, just a mix up of different things, and just have Thanksgiving in our home. Like, you know what? Great idea. So the day before Thanksgiving, my husband checked the side of the house and we just see a lot of water just gushing out, and we're like, where is this water coming from? It was never there, and why is it there? And the day before Thanksgiving, the next day we're gonna have mad people at our house using the bathroom, washing their hand, cooking, and all these things, and now we have water gushing from the side of the house. So we're like, okay, what the hell is happening here? And what the hell? So he went and checked the basement to make sure that everything is fine, like there's nothing really suspicious. This water is just a normal thing that we never really paid attention to. Come to find out, the water pipe of the house is leaking. Not like a small drip drip, it's like leaking a lot of water downstairs. And I'm like, are you serious? Serious. What the hell? Like, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. This pipe picked the worst day to actually start leaking. And it's always like that. I'm like, it's just the way of my house kind of speaking to me, saying like, oh, happy Thanksgiving to you too. And I'm here. I know you're here. Anyways, so my husband had the brilliant idea to go. He actually likes to do these things, to go on Thumbtack or TaxRabbit to find people to do random stuff. Me, I'm always like, okay, let's just go on Craigslist. And he's like, no, not Craigslist. You don't know who you're gonna meet on Craigslist. Which is true. It's because I found one great person on Craigslist for one of my friends' wedding back in the day. And I was like, oh, Craigslist is actually okay. You see, I'm diverting. So let's go back. So, and he was just texting plumber to see if anybody could stop by and see it. And he actually had 3 companies come by and give us an estimate. The first person was like, yeah, this looks like a $2,000 job. And then he was like, okay, no. And the second person was like, oh, I can fix this. It was like, I'll fix it for $900. And he was like, I will give you $500. The person was like, no, not doing that. The third person came in. He was like, oh, $900. And he was like, I'm giving you $500. And they stopped at like $650. Anyways, so he was supposed to come Wednesday before Thanksgiving to come fix the pipe. Waiting for the guy. Text us, hey, I'm in traffic right now. Not gonna make it. Possibly tomorrow. We're like, what the hell? Possibly tomorrow? What does that even mean? Are you coming? Are you not? Is the water just gonna gushing out? Is people gonna be able to flush? Like, what the hell is gonna happen? We're gonna have people sleeping over? What the hell? Anyways, so all this to say, the next day the guy actually came. He did his thing. It was mad noise while we were like cooking, me and my husband's mom, like trying to finish some food. My friend came to help. We, at some point of the food, it was like, yeah, you can use all the water you need. And then after that, he was like, okay, stop the water, no water. And it was just like, oh my God. Anyways, point of this story, the pipe is fixed. It's looking good. There's no leak on the side of the house. So it was abnormal. But the whole point of the story is that you need to have a sinking fund, because what really helped us is our sinking fund. And our sinking fund has been going through the ringers this year. Through the ringers. We had a car before and that car was breaking down and it was just like $300, $200, $500. It was just like a lot. But then again, we contribute to our sinking fund every month. Is for the car, and for the house, we try to contribute like $500 every month, just in case something crazy happened. And look at that, something crazy happened, even though it didn't have the whole 650 on it. It's okay. We got like most of it, 85% of it. The rest 10% can come from somewhere, the emergency fund. So yeah, what are sinking funds? Sinking fund is basically fund that you put there in case of an not in case of an emergency. It's for predictable and unpredictable expenses. Predictable expenses are seen as holiday, buying a car, your birthday if you're planning one, vacation if you're planning one, personal, like grooming or clothing. These, you know that at some point in a year, you're actually gonna spend money for these specific things. And unpredictable stuff like your car needs a repair, your house, something in your house is leaking, or different things that might happen in the house. That sinking fund is used for these predictable or unpredictable expenses. It's different from your emergency fund. Your emergency fund, let's say you save $20,000 for emergency fund, or $5,000, whatever amount is comfortable for you. The sinking fund is basically different because that sinking fund is specifically for different things. And it prevents you from dipping in your emergency fund, and it also gives you a peace of mind when certain things happen, because you know in a specific saving account you have money for that. So what sinking fund do I have? Not me, like our family, we have a personal sinking fund. The personal sinking fund, we use it for things like if we need something in the month, like if we need to buy a coat, if we need to buy clothes, or if we need to buy a random thing. And sometimes family members too comes in that personal sinking fund, because both of us, we have extended family members, and in our culture it's known to like help our extended family. Like my mom lives in Haiti and so on and so forth. So if they need something, I dip into that personal sinking fund and I would like give it to them. And also we have a car and a house sinking fund, which is, I mentioned the reason why I'm making this video and the reason why I'm telling you about this. And that car and house sinking fund is anything that happens to the car, anything that happens to the house, we're taking from there. We also have an Uber sinking fund because sometimes we do take Uber. For example, we travel a lot, and him as well, my husband as well, he travel a lot, not personally and for work. So sometimes I'm not able to drive, and sometimes we just gotta take an Uber, and Uber sometimes can be expensive. So I put some money aside just for Uber. And for us, like if we need to take, we have a travel sinking fund. If we're going, it depends. That travel sinking fund is literally depends on where we're going and how far we're going. And sometimes if we're going very far, we have okay, let's save 3,000, let's save 5,000, let's save 2,000, let's save about 1,500. So that goes like, it's like monthly until that specific time when the travel happens, we would use that. Let me see, what other sinking fund that we have? Personal, I said car, house, I said travel. And one thing I actually wanted to bring is like we need we're actually working towards that. We didn't do that this year. It's a tax sinking fund, because sometimes when you file for tax, sometimes you get a bill and sometimes you don't. So just kind of to prepare for that, instead of dipping into emergency fund, till next year we're gonna like focus on that. So pretty much I feel like that's all the sinking fund that we have. Yes, and there's different other things. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention holiday sinking fund, because during the holiday you're gonna spend some money but what we do is like the personal sinking fund, we just add a little bit during the holiday, add a little bit more to the personal sinking fund, and then we just in that account, and we just use it for the holidays. So yeah, there's a list of things that you could use your sinking fund for. How do you open a sinking fund? I use Alliant, I use Ali Bank, and I use Capital One. These are the ones I would recommend. You open a savings account there, you save for a purpose, and that is different from your emergency fund. And when that predictable or unpredictable event happens, what happens? You now have the money, or 50%, 80%, whatever percent, you have a little bit more than like you're not empty when you're facing this predicament. So that's what sinking funds are, and I think sinking funds are very useful, and I think you should open a sinking fund. And we all should have sinking fund for different things in our life. And I also have, on my blog, I have different printable sheets of different sinking funds, college sinking fund, car sinking fund, personal sinking fund, that you could download. They're 99 cents and some of them are free. So go to the website trulyludi.com and get yourself your printable sinking fund. I'm also building an Excel sinking fund spreadsheet, so stay tuned for that. Again, thank you for watching. I wish you a happy holidays and enjoy your time with your family, friends, and neighbors, and by yourself, because some people like to be alone too. So see you next time. Yeah, get your sinking fund in order.